Hello there. It's me again, Isra Banat, and first of all, please accept my apologies for my low voice in the previous lesson, the video that we uploaded recently. I was really sick, I couldn't raise it more, so sorry for any inconvenience, okay, that is caused by this. Then I would like to start with a quick notification. Now, if you remember during the last video that we uploaded, now there were some pre-reading questions, right? I need you just to recall this. I just play it fast. So notice these questions. What is the passage is about, okay? Now, there's something wrong with this question, and I'll let you know why. Now, I have my teacher's book, and I just cut these questions from the book. See, this is the copy of the book, and if you can see, this is the part that I'm talking about, okay? So the first question, what is the passage is about? Listen, this is not in your book, okay? So don't worry. Now, what is the passage about is wrong. It's a typing error in the book, and it's a mistake. So is an extra word in this question. So there is no need for this, okay? Right. So let's go back to the actual lesson. What I want you today to do is to bring your both student book and workbook in front of you. And I need you to focus on this part, okay, of the lesson. Now, last time we finished all of this, and we are left only with this section, the discussion section, actually, right? So what I need you to do is to title the page, to title the page with the date. So today is the 23rd of March 2020, right? Okay. Let's get started. Now, how would you avoid mountain sickness if you were a climber? Okay. Now, this is a question about imagining that you are a climber, okay? If you notice the if clause, the second type, if you were and you are not. So how would you avoid the mountain sickness? What are the cautious things that you may do beforehand if you are concerned with climbing mountains? Okay, so some possible answers go like getting my medication, okay, if you know that you are like if it happened to you maybe once or before climbing the mountain, okay. Another procedure is eating carbs, eating carbs, and sleeping well is a good choice of everything, okay. Right, now what were what are the advantages, like the usages? What are the good side of climbing the highest mountain in the world, Everest? Now, if it happened and you could manage to climb the mountain, okay, which is the highest point, the highest summit in the world, what would you do? How would you feel? What does it, affect you with? What is the impact? So what's the use? What's the advantage of climbing the highest mountain in the world, which is Everest? So what do you think? What are the advantages? Why is it so good to do so? Okay, now I'll give you some possible answers, okay? Now, if you are interested in breaking records, okay, challenging breaking some records, pride, feeling proud, having some satisfaction, okay, feeling confident, the magic of, feeling content about yourself, determination, it teaches you patience, right? To be patient, and persistence, and gratitude toward yourself and your effort and your strength, reaching up there, okay? Now, have you ever heard of Arab mountaineers who climbed Everest? Think for a while. If you have ever mentioned, if someone mentioned any name in front of you, if you have ever read, watched something about climbing Everest by Arab mountaineers, and you may use the internet, okay? So why don't we give it a try and go to find it from the internet? Okay, hold on. Okay. So they are asking about some Arab climbers' names, right? Okay. Arab mountains climbers, or Arab mountaineers who climbed Everest. So it's the first option. Okay. So there is a woman who could manage to climb Everest mountain, right? Susan Al-Hobby, okay? She's Palestinian woman, and she managed to climb it. There is another name, Raha Muharraq. Now she's a Saudi woman, okay? She's really famous. They interviewed her lately. So you may write any of these names, and I can recall the name of, there is an Egyptian one. I can't recall the name, but is, anyway, he's an Egyptian one. Okay, right. So let's get back to the lesson. Overall, it's just discussion, okay? Now, can you just move to the workbook and just try to find the questions answers together, consider it as a revision for the vocabulary that we have just learned. Okay, so I will just start with the very first exercise. Actually, they are asking you as usual, okay, after each unit to match the definitions with their suitable meanings, right? So let's do it together, and I will send you the answers, by the way, after we finish this. Okay, now what word of these 6 means make a hole in something with a sharp point? So making a hole in something with a sharp point, and remember piercing. So piercing, okay? Now this is D. So the first one is done. Okay. Number 2, something that you need. Something that you need means something that you require, right? Because need is a similar to synonym, similar meaning to require. So if it's something, then it's a noun, right? So it's A. So requirement is the noun from the verb. Okay. Now the opposite of moderate. Now moderate, maybe it's a new word for some of you. It's the opposite of being extreme. Hold on, where are the answers? Okay, the first one is D. The second one is, as we said, A. And the third one, which word is the opposite of moderate? Now it's extreme. Okay, just check the answers after you do this. Long journey, which word? Of course it's expedition. We said it's long journey. And something that cannot be avoided. What is the word that means it's something that cannot be avoided? And I gave you death as a sad example of that. So inevitable, okay? Inevitable. So this is B, right? So D, A, E, C, and B. You can pause the video whenever you want and copy them just carefully and slowly. Done? Okay. Do I erase the board? Okay. Shall we move to the second exercise? Great. Now, in this exercise, they are asking you to find the antonym. Okay? So they want you to find the antonyms of these questions, these words actually. So, optional, when you say something optional, so you can or can't do it, right? So it's optional, it depends. It's not something you must do. Now, when we have something optional, it means it's optional to you to do it, for example. And if it's not, it's a must, you can't avoid it. So does it remind you of anything? Talking about something that you cannot avoid. Okay, right. If you say it's inevitable, so you are correct. So inevitable. Okay. Sorry, but I'm just writing on the phone screen. So please don't be confused, okay? Right. Now, the second one, provide. Now, when you provide something to someone, that means that you give that thing to that that one, right? So provide me with some information means give me some information. Provide me with some water, that means give me some water. Now, provide, giving something. Now, what's the thing that's opposite to give? If I give you, so you need, right? So I give you and you need that thing. So which word means need? If you say that it's require, so you are on the right track. Okay, so the word is require. Right. Fine. Number 3. Now, which word that we talked about in the previous lesson, and it means to sell, or to the opposite of to sell, which means to buy. So I said it. It's purchase. Okay, you caught me. It's a nice one. Again, purchase, not purchase. It's purchase. 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 Okay, now few. Few. Now we talked about few once when we talked about the quantifiers, the words that come before the nouns to determine the amount or the number of these nouns, right? I don't know if you remember, but you better do. So few, just the number is few means you have small number of something, right? Now the opposite is many, since we are using it with countable nouns, if you can remember. Fall. Okay, now fall means to just when you fall from a height. Okay, so you descend, you get down, right? What comes in the text talking about this is the word when we talked about the birds flying up high the sky. Remember this when I gave you this poem yesterday, right? So fall, the opposite, it's the opposite of soar. Okay, soar, to fly high, right? Pause the video and copy them